On today's episode, the Academy walks back its Best Popular Film category, the first images of Captain Marvel are released, and Hollywood loses a legend with the death of Burt Reynolds. Let's get started.
This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Off the Break Podcast. No, it's not Cody again. She had to be away from the office, so now it's just me and my good buddy Eric.
Hello.
What's up, man?
It's just us again.
Yep, just us. Cody should be back next week, though, so don't worry. But for now, we're just going to get started with our topics. What do we have first, Eric?
Well, the thing that nobody saw coming is what the Academy decided to pull a 180 on its Best Popular Film category.
I'll be honest, I was probably one of the few people that thought that they weren't going to pull back on this.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought they were going to stick to their guns?
Yeah, I thought that they would want to try and prove that this would be a good idea. I don't really know why I thought that. I guess I just didn't have that much faith in them listening to the fans and to the audiences.
Yeah, just too prideful or something?
Yeah, something like that maybe. But I was very happy, like many other people have been happy to hear that this news happened.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't remember the full statement, and it was a long one, but the internet's tearing it apart because one of the phrases was, we received a wide range of reactions to this category. And everywhere you look, everyone's like, no, you didn't.
It was all unanimous.
100% of people hated this.
Yeah. And they also explained it in such a roundabout way. They didn't exactly say, what was it? They didn't exactly say, like,
that we screwed up and it was stupid.
Yeah, they didn't say that. But they did admit though that they're like, we kind of rushed to this conclusion.
Yeah.
Like we should have had a little bit more thought into this. Not the words that they said, but it just sounded like that's what they were trying to get at, which that part makes sense. Like I really did think they came at this category with no real rules to how it works or no real thought into seeing like what would the outcome of this happen. So I'm glad that they're pulling back on it, at least for this year anyway, this year's Oscars. Yeah,
I mean, realistically, I do believe that, they're probably just some board of, however the Academy works, some board of directors who are probably just out of touch with, what the main people of the country think. And so they probably thought that this was going to be a wildly popular thing. Like, oh, people are going to love this. We're finally appreciating, the mainstream movies that people actually see. They just went about it so horribly. But no, I don't think there was ever some like nefarious plot behind them adding this. Like, well, now we can finally, just give Black Panther an award instead of having. I do think it was just, it was just them being kind of tone deaf. And rushing this out. Yeah,
they clearly were listening to the audiences as they were saying like, there's a lot of big budget pictures that should at least get these. Yeah, exactly. Kind of nominations, if not wins, and they thought that this was the way to go at. Maybe it was just the way that they worded the title wrong. Maybe it was just being so nonchalant in its way on how to make these rules in order to make this category possible.
Yeah.
So hopefully they at least go back to the drawing board to make this category work. But if they decide to scrap it in general, I won't be too mad about it as long as they give these big budget pictures a chance.
I think my gut feeling is that that's probably the most likely route. I feel like they're just going to wait for this whole thing to die down, act like that it never happened, and then just in the future maybe make a better effort to acknowledge the kinds of movies that would have otherwise been in the Best Popular Film category.
So after seeing all this happen with them trying to make this category and then pulling it back, I have a question for you, and that's, do you think that now Black Panther has more of a chance at being nominated for a Best Picture award?
Yes. Yeah. That's my initial my gut feeling.
Not that it doesn't deserve it already, but do you think it has more of a chance now?
Yeah.
As a way to repay everyone back.
Even though everybody talks a lot about how the Academy never actually acknowledges these really successful movies. Most years, ever since they upped the slot to 10 nominees, most years there is always usually one or maybe two like blockbusters.
Oh yeah,
so
it's not uncommon. It just doesn't happen. Well, I was gonna say that as that was gonna be really dumb how I was gonna say that. Like, it's not out of the norm for it to happen. It's just uncommon.
Yeah, I mean, they never win. Like,
yeah.
I mean, Avatar was nominated for Best Picture. Of course, it didn't win.
Mad Max.
2010. Yeah, good point. Yeah, Fury Road.
I don't think Forrest Gump won, and that was. I mean, it wasn't big budget picture, but
Forrest
it was
Gump
at least everyone went out to see that movie.
Yeah.
Did it win?
Yeah, Forrest Gump 94.
Oh well, then never mind. What am I talking about?
That was a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
No, since they upped the slots to 10, there's always one or two like token mainstream films. Maybe that's a cynical way of phrasing it, but you know, there's Inception in 2010, Toy Story 3. There's Mad Max Fury Road. You know, it's not unheard of. They just never actually win.
Yeah.
So this year, it's hard for me to tell because I do think that Black Panther is going to be nominated for Best Picture, but I still don't see it winning.
No, neither do I. I mean, we still have the year to finish off.
True.
We just don't know what other movies are being released. We'll know a little bit more now because, you know, TIFF is happening.
Exactly.
Right now, there's
the
a whole bunch
reviews
of
are
other
coming
film
in
festivals
for
happening.
all of these anticipated award season movies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I think this is probably, you know, the best move they could make. It's embarrassing for them. Their attempt to save face was kind of cringy, but at the end of the day, it's fun to make fun of all this, but I feel like it's kind of run its course. I feel like people are making too big of a deal out of it.
Out of them making that category.
Out of how ridiculous of a decision it was in the first place to even make that category.
Oh, okay.
Like, when they first did it, it was like, what? Are you kidding me? And it was fun to kind of rip on them. It's like, these guys are so tone deaf. But that whole kind of thing has run its course, and it's not really, it's just not that funny anymore.
Yeah.
So I hope that with this, people will just kind of die down and we can move on.
I will say this about the Academy. They may be a little tone deaf still, but you can tell that they are trying. Like, I mean, as we've mentioned before, they've upped the ante on who they're inviting over to make all these decisions when it comes to the nominations. Like, they've been trying to be a lot more diverse. They've been trying with his category, which it kind of failed, but at least they were trying something.
I think they're trying the best way they know how, and unfortunately, that way is not totally in touch with the way a lot of other people feel.
Yeah.
So there's just naturally going to be a disconnect, and they're gonna kind of come across as like easy to make fun of.
Right.
But whatever.
Yeah, whatever. We'll just, for now, it's not going to be in the 2019 Oscars. That sounds fine to us. And we'll see if it gets brought back up again, or maybe they're just going to pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
So anyway, what's next on our list of discussions to talk about here?
Well, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel,
the first
yeah.
look at, finally, at Captain Marvel. Because, I mean, like I've said before, I'm not super knowledgeable with like comic books characters outside like the big like Avengers people.
Yeah.
But ever since that gut punch Infinity War ending with that little after credits tease, I mean, I knew enough about Captain Marvel to know that was her like logo, like her symbol. But I don't know anything about the character. I don't know anything about like her power. I know she's in space. But no, it was really cool to finally see like an actual first look at her. Yeah. I love Brie Larson. I think she's a fantastic actress.
Yeah, she's come a long way for sure.
Yeah.
She's really grown.
She looks great in the Captain Marvel suit.
Yeah.
The thing is
it's
so
not
badass.
It's not necessarily the green and black one that everyone was complaining about a few months ago.
No, I remember
they
that.
actually showed her in the costume, so haters can relax now. It's going to be okay.
Does that I just feel so out of the loop now because does the character have like two different costumes? Is there going to be like is one like her proto suit, kind of like how Spider-Man had his homemade one, and then she gets like the main red, blue, and gold one?
So here's what I'm thinking. Like the original character was a male character named Captain Marvel. Marvel is hyphenated because it's cool, I guess. And
like
he
Jor-El
had a green
and Kal-El.
Yeah, exactly. He pretty much had a green and black suit, kind of similar to what we've been seeing in those images and what we saw in the images a couple of months ago.
Those like first look things.
And I think in this with this interpretation, they're going to use that suit as like a uniform for this team that Captain Marvel is going to be a part of, called the Star Force. I almost said Star Crew, but that would not have been right.
Star Team.
Yes, exactly. Star Team, Star Crew, whatever. So I think it's going to be like their uniform, like their military uniform type thing. But I think
that's
her
a good
actual,
point. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think her actual suit, at least just judging by pictures and what I can
that
think
makes sense.
of,
I didn't put those
the
together
actual thing.
because
yeah,
I mean, naturally, it's kind of hard to talk about images in a podcast, but
yeah,
there's
go look at Entertainment Weekly. They have a great article about everything Captain Marvel, how like production was going on, like what direction the story's going to be.
EW always gets those huge deep dives.
Yeah. They're really good though. Like,
yeah.
I mean, their covers are a little weird in my opinion, but
yeah,
this cover was fine, but a lot of them are weird, but they're really great with like getting like a full in-depth on like behind the scenes.
No, that's a good point though, because looking at those images, seeing like that alien crew, they have kind of that theme going, that green and black. So yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah. And one thing that came across to me when looking a little bit into the photos and the article that they released is that it's not going to necessarily be an origin story. Like, they're not going to explain...
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I thought that was interesting.
I think obviously they're going to explain what happened, like maybe in a flashback or a montage type thing. But I'm also kind of okay with it because I think people are so excited for this character to be a part of the Marvel universe that they're just going to be all in on this anyway.
Yeah.
So I think if we just jump right into all of the action with it being kind of like it almost feels like it's going to be a 90s buddy cop type movie almost. Like I get vibes from that, like a little bit of like that 90s flair. Since it's supposed to take place in the 90s, I get
you can tell by her 9 Inch Nails shirt.
Yeah, exactly. So
I
think
outfit,
all that plus people's anticipation for this character and for Brie Larson to be this character, I think we're okay with it not being an origin movie.
Yeah, no, I mean my take on it is I think people let me back up, because obviously Captain Marvel is going to be a huge player in the end game of Avengers 4.
Yeah.
So I feel like with the Captain...
She's the most powerful of them, supposedly.
See, I didn't know that until I started reading about her, and I was like, oh, geez, okay. It seems like every movie adds somebody else who's actually now the strongest. But whatever. No, I think it'll be good that it's not an origin story, because we can just jump right in, see what a badass she is, see what she's capable of doing. I'm sure there'll be little like hints at her upbringing or origin or whatever sprinkled throughout.
I mean, there's photos of
but I don't
90s Nick Fury, like great job, at least from a picture of his de-aging or of the de-aging technology that they're using on him. So I think
crazy good.
Whether it will be a flashback or maybe it'll be her returning to Earth or something, like there will be something that explains.
There's many different ways they could hint at kind of what came before, but I think it's not going to be a traditional origin story where you follow them from the beginning linearly through to how they come into themselves. But yeah, no, I think that's a good idea, because first of all, I think audiences at this point are, I don't want to say that they're tired of origin stories, because stories can be insanely different depending on the character.
Yeah.
But I think the formula of like the structure of an origin story is so familiar now that I think it'll be good to kind of take a break from that.
Yeah, for sure.
With a new Marvel character movie.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to work out really well.
I mean, Black Panther, that was technically, I would say that's our first time really getting to know this character, but he didn't really have an origin story. Like, it was just his story, but we just learned about his upbringing and how he became Black Panther just based on snippets that we got from Civil War and from...
Yeah, you don't really need a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's, you got plenty, and then the majority of the, character development and becoming attached to them and, falling in love with these characters comes from just seeing them, be a hero and struggle with the villains that they confront.
Right. And that's really what I'm looking forward to most. Like, I don't need an origin story. One more thing that I do want to mention is that one of the pictures showed us the Skrulls, and I don't know if you're familiar with the Skrulls or not, Eric. I don't...
Nope.
No. Well, basically... the Skrulls are shape-shifting aliens, and there's this huge storyline in the Marvel comics where...
Oh, Skrull. Yeah. I thought you said scrolls.
Oh,
like
no.
a parchment.
No, Skrulls.
No, I mean, those are... I know they're aliens. I know they're aliens.
Yeah, but they're pretty much shapeshifters, and there's a huge storyline in the comics where basically they take over and infiltrate the Avengers and the rest of the world pretty much, and... I almost wonder if we're going to get a tease into maybe what's to come outside of Avengers 4 after, just from that one picture alone. I mean, possibilities are endless with that studio, but I mean, that would really change things up for the MCU.
That's again. I feel like I contradict myself all the time whenever I talk about the MCU. I'm always flip flopping, but
Yeah,
I think if after Avengers 4 and they kind of clean the slate, get rid of the OG people, we have these new people. I do wonder, because they're gonna have to top themselves. I don't know how you top the whole Thanos thing, but there's going to be another overarching, unifying, multi-phase like arc.
Yeah.
Much like Thanos has been for pretty much since the Avengers. But yeah, I wonder what direction they're gonna go, what kind of threat they can come up with, or pull from the comics to kind of match the whole Thanos thing. So yeah, I don't know.
If that's what's to come though, and if that's gonna be the next thing that they're gonna try and do, that's gonna be very interesting, I think. So anyway, just from that one image, I got all nerdy and was like, what if this is it? Like, what if that's
let the theorizing commence.
Yeah. So anyway, like, the photos look fantastic. EW did a great job. Check out the article if you guys haven't seen it yet. There's some good stuff on there.
Yeah. Well, and then sadly, or bittersweet, I guess, he had a good run.
Yeah.
Our dearly beloved Burt Reynolds passed away.
Right.
At 82.
Yeah. Do you know what he passed away from? Like,
I think it was some heart issues. Apparently, he was having heart problems for a couple years.
Yeah, I think I heard about that too, but I wasn't sure if that was it or if it was something else. Maybe.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, there's not really much to say that hasn't already been said. Naturally, he's gonna be a lot more popular amongst older audiences, but I mean, I've seen a bunch of his stuff. I've seen Deliverance, which is incredible, incredibly difficult to watch. Yeah. But I've seen that. Smokey and the Bandit, the big ones, Longest Yard. Of course, Boogie Nights. That was actually the first.
Boogie Nights.
That was the first Burt Reynolds role I saw, which I feel like most people under the age of like 40, that's going to be their Burt Reynolds role.
Right.
Whereas a lot of other people, their Burt Reynolds is probably, Deliverance or Smokey and the Bandit. I don't know. It's just sad, but I've just been reading like memorials and what a life and what an icon he was. These things happen though. I mean,
yeah, you can't.
He had a good run.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a great run. Like, he had a very great career. He was almost an icon pretty much during like his major years.
Yeah, I think it was like from 1978 to 1982. I believe he was those 4 years in a row. He was that top billing actor in the country. Like
everyone
he
knew
was
of him.
everywhere.
Yeah,
I read somewhere, I forget what period of what year, but there was one point where 4 different movies that he was in were all in theaters at the same time.
Really?
Yeah. So people they couldn't get enough of their Burt.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Just think how big people can get.
Yeah. And just recently he came out with a movie from A24.
Yeah. Yep, I remember.
And I wanted to check that one out. Maybe I still will, especially now that he passed away, just to see his final performance. And
was it called the last movie star? Or
yes.
The last? Is that what it's called?
I think that's something like that.
The last something. I think it's the last movie star.
Right. So I want to check that out even more now. He was supposed to be in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
and he would have been great. I think he would have been great in that ensemble,
absolutely.
Especially.
But yeah, he sadly didn't film his scene before he passed, so they're gonna have to recast that. But I couldn't. Oh man, I can't even imagine what Tarantino directing Burt Reynolds would be like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't think of those two really working together, or at least I don't.
But I mean, in your head, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
but
like, you just want to see it on the big screen, but it's not. Unfortunately, that won't happen now. So sadly, we had to say goodbye to an icon, Burt Reynolds, yesterday. And he will be missed. I think he'll be missed by a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was one of the greats.
Yeah. All right. So that's just gonna be a short podcast for today. Thank you all for watching. We should be back next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll have an episode up, somewhere like that. I'm sure Cody will be back too. So all 3 of us will be able to talk about the new releases that we saw, and just whatever else comes into the world of movies.
Yeah, we got The Nun, Peppermint, and the Faith. Oh yeah, God Bless the Broken Road.
Right,
some faith-based film. Those are the new ones coming out this weekend.
Is White Boy Rick coming out this weekend, or is that next weekend?
It might be limited this weekend.
Oh, okay.
I can't recall.
So we may not see it anyway. Some people may see it, but
Yeah, well, those are the new ones. It's the kickoff of the fall season now. We're out of the summer, kind of end of summer slump. So,
yeah, hopefully soon we'll start getting those Oscar baity, those award season.
Yeah,
movies.
it'll still be a couple more weeks, but once October comes around, we'll get Star is Born, First Man,
Bad Times at El Royale. Great stuff coming in October.
I can't think of them all. There's a lot of good stuff coming.
But for now, we'll just have to talk to you guys about September releases. Sorry, but that's just the way
it's the best we have right now.